Welcome everyone, this is Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344, and this is a very special union read, so please stay tuned. Take a deep breath. So like I said, this is a union read for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. I'm going to pull in an energy deck card for you real quick before I start to get some energies for you guys for the day. This is for, oh, that just wanted to come out, Blossoming Abundance. It wasn't very graceful, but it wanted to come out. So this has to do with, because of what came up in the read, this is about Gaia, thanking you all for giving Gaia a break to heal. 3 is the Empress and Gaia, and there you have it with the spring energies, okay? Blossoming abundance, and also door to value, making sure you understand who you are and what you value in this world, right? Is it money? Is it relationship? Is it your work? Is it the earth that feeds you? It's reminding you. Make sure you understand what has value in your life. So 31 is adding just the 1 to the 3, and 31 is the expansion energy of the 5 of Wands. It's also going 3 to the 4, like the Empress to the Emperor, the feminine energy, and then the masculine energy of expanding upon the earth. The underlying energy here, interesting, the next card after that is envy. So, of course, those who may come against you because they don't have what you have. And then contracts. So it's just, do you really want to be obligated to another energy in your life? Or do you just want to be obligated to yourself? It's about loving yourself and staying on path and walking away when needed. The underlying energy is community. 7 is the Chariot. This came up last night as well. And the community, underneath the community is the 3rd chakra, Archangel Shemuel, which also is coming up, is staying more yellow than orange and red here. So keeping the energy higher of the solar plexus as opposed to the root and the sacral chakras, the yellow, the gold, the 37 of the unconditional love. And then the 2 polarities, the black and the white of it, running together side by side in order to merge the 2 energies and using the community to help come together, which is the Chariot, the vehicle of ascension, the stars that you are, and the vehicle of your ascension, the community, the togetherness, the unity, and unconditional love. This is really beautiful. That's the underlying energy. All right, so getting right into this union read, I wanted to show you because how the energies like bounced off of each other in this read were just so amazing to me. I'm going to show you a close-up of the read so you can see, and you can maybe take a shot of this so you can follow it more closely. Okay, so this is the read in front of you. And we have I put the underlying energy and the closing energy up in front so you could see them. So the Ace of Flames, and then the higher self over here is the closing energy. And then we have the top row is the 6D, 5D, and then the 4D on the bottom. This is the feminine energy coming in, the masculine energy going out. And as I said, the underlying energy, which was on the top of the deck here, the bottom. And then the closing. I was just getting closing arguments, so maybe you guys are going through that right now. But this is the summary at the end here. So the underlying energy, as I showed you, and this read was done I woke up at 9:11 this morning, by the way. Today is June 8th, 2020. So we have the 8 of the Strength card, and then the day adds up to 18, I believe, is it? 14, yep, 18. So it's the moon today. So the moon energies of the subconscious and the feminine, perhaps moodiness, illumination, but not full illumination. It's not quite clear. And don't forget, we're under a lot of eclipse energies, which may make the waters a bit murky right now. going into the solar eclipse on the 21st, which is, I keep getting messages that that's really the big one. So 9/11, something urgent in waking up today, and the union read was done at 10:28. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and 28 is the Two of Wands, or the Twin Flames. It also happens to 28 is also my address. And then the union energy, the underlying is the Ace of Wands, and then the central energy here is the Two of Pentacles, which is, or the Two of Crystals in the SIRIAN Starseed deck here. And in this deck, it's very different than the normal deck. In this deck, it's very much about surrendering your choices. So the Two of Pentacles in the center there. So new passions and inspiration, the third energy, and a big flame, surrendering your choices when both are seen as good choices. The full moon eclipse has left a pink residue aura around it of compassion. So it's very much about loving yourself, having compassion for yourself and all of your choices, whether they're good or bad, or you deem them good or bad. So the underlying divine feminine of justice, ascension, and the Ace of Swords, which are these three cards here, and this is like one unit because this is the feminine energy coming in and the masculine energy going out. So that's like one unit. So I was getting, take me to your leader. So sleepwalking was coming up, picking up a ball and playing catch with a plum and a dolphin, reaching out to the world blindly where another has a grip on it, and music of the spheres lay in wait just below the plum surface. Eye health and 20/20 vision, seeing with blinders on or walls up in front of you and needing to keep your eyes open beneath the water, which can distort things at times and be an irritant. Standing in your red, orange, yellow, and white portal with blue on the other side, a green and blue earth, and pearl strand connection. Each pearl represents a rejection that has happened, Akashic records, and the beauty that manifested because of it. Dolphins waiting to play, hit the button. And so I did. I put on my dolphin sounds, which was my guidance right there, which was very cool. And I want to show you, as I put dolphin sounds on, which I often listen to this one. So this is the dolphin sounds I usually listen to, and that one is, it's Healing Songs of Dolphins and Whales, Deep Meditative Music for Harmony of Inner Peace. And that's Meditation and Relaxation - music channel. And then as I went on to do the read, it moved on to the next one, which I didn't choose. It just came up. Relaxing Music, Healing Dolphin Songs, and Alpha Binaural Beats for Study, Meditation, and Deep Sleep. And that was from Meditation Relax Music. But the numbers here of views was 1472447. So like all 1247s, 1472447. And then the thumbs up were 9.9, so 9 and 9, which is a lot of compassion. And then the thumbs down number was 588. So there were double 8s there, as well as the 5 of the expansion energy. And then the last one where the read ended on, I wanted to show you this because it was literally the hand of Christ holding the light. And there will be a message of that comes up in the read, because there's very much energy about holding things with your right hand. And you notice that that's the right hand there. So keep that in mind as I talk about this here. So I put on the dolphin sounds, and then I went into the 4D energies, which is this lower row here. We're not doing 3D, 4D, 5D anymore because I was guided to go 4D, 5D, 6D. So we have 4D, 5D, 6D. So the 4D is the Nine of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine Wish, 1 sun, 6 rays, 9 cups, and 1 man romancing the stone. Step right up. What's your game of choice? Perhaps the ring toss, trying to get the ring in the glass. And a skylight to act as a tanning bed inside, letting the light inside the home. The Divine Masculine with a proposal of Greece. I ran, but then I stopped. I saw the Forrest Gump through the trees, the words through the lump in my Adam's apple, and deep throat. The bridge of 4D by the King of Cups, eyes reflected upon the water, the pool into which I gladly jump, the unconditional love of thine other, of thyself. The venue set, proposal made, the toroidal field of our eyes pooling together, so close that no man can put asunder. In the 5D was the Knight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. The Divine Feminine gushing in a coffee cup, floating in the green room soon, the right arm extended, sinking in a gentle pool of wine. Don't disturb me now, I can see the answer. Till this evening is this morning, life is fine. The pampering. The Divine Masculine expressing feelings and energetic exchange, as I'm getting connection, by the lake, with color my world playing in his head, and paint splatter a distant memory, and being marooned with the skipper. Bridging by surrendering the details, till this evening is this morning, life is fine. The devil is in the details, so why not let God work it out during sleep time? And this was at 11:03, which is justice and the Empress, or Gaia. So instead of us working out the details ourselves, the devil's in the details, so why not let God work it out during sleep time? And then I was getting called pink time. So the compassion for self is your sleep time, when you can then let God work out things with the devil. So at 60 here, we have the Three of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Two of Cups. The Divine Feminine present with open heart to third flame, gently holding on to gossamer wings, in a train released from hook behind her, and walking down the aisle with two witnesses, winged beings, with eyes only for what lie in her eyes, just a few steps down the path less followed, her one and only flame, in a triad formation, and all eyes on her at 0 point, the middleman, yet a Divine Feminine version, and he the only best man here. Holy Trinity of Holy Communion into the Holy Grail, and holy smokestacks and bales of hay there. The farmer in the dell takes the whole world, but the cheese stands alone. The Divine Masculine only with eyes for her, and there two chalices toasting their good cheer, surrounded by peach roses and arched stoneway, their special hiding place, beneath the archway of the 4D bridge, the cul-de-sac, the portal in which he carries over the threshold, Omega support, that special door frame they stand in when the cyclone and vortex come along, tempting them to Oz, or to the oxygen hut. All they need is the air they breathe into each other. All can choose to join them inside their nature boundary, but if they choose not to, that's quite all right too. Just me and you and the world in our third eye, head to head. Stonehenge is the secret doorway out to play, bridged by those hiding in fear on the 4D bridge, unsure of what lies on the other side of the creek or the tracks, unable to even imagine yet what exists under the bridge. Staying in the 0 point field doesn't really matter where you are physically. The Divine Feminine soaking in the light in the 4D and surfing the 5D wave and basking in the third flame in the 6D. The Divine Masculine 4D proposing to 5D color my world in a splattering of 6D pledging of merging together in divine wed, crossing that bridge when we come to it. It's dark in 6D since you are the light and can be seen miles away, and there's nowhere to hide. You are seen for all that you are. So remember, when you're in 6D, there is no fear or darkness there. So the cards have a different meaning, and Spirit's been connecting with me. The bridge here is the 4D King of Cups of unconditional love, and the 5D surrenders to the 6D hide and seek, a win-win situation, because you can't hide in 6D because your light shines so bright. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Six of Swords, curious about his abilities and floating on air, in perfect balance and knowing, allowing the other shoe to drop, holding the crystal ball in the right hand, and then floating the ball above it. The dolphin has done their lesson with you, and then they go back down under. Their curved fin, deeming them social creatures, that they'll be back. You need to trust. There's no need to proof of this. So then Metatron's cube came up because it's on the water there with the dolphin, and it was very cool because Metatron's cube is 661. It's 2 sets of 6 circles and then the 1 in the middle, but also regarding the 7, which is the spiritual number, and also has to do with the 1 circle with the 1 center, is number 7. And 7661 literally came up in the union read yesterday, which I stated the 7661, and here it came up again as the 7661, which is also the Chariot, the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and the 1 of the Magician, which came up yesterday. But under the Metatron's cube, some information was coming up about it, that the Talmud does mention Metatron, and the summary here is the higher self, and regarding the new moon. So look at the higher self picture here. You see the new moon there. It's just a little bit of sliver of light. So it's not right on the eclipse, but right before it, or could be right after it. But being in the higher self, and I want you to look at this card. So 6/21/2020 again is that solar eclipse coming up, and I want you to notice, look at this card with the archway that I talked about in the union read, and look at how the 2 of Cups here in the 6D is exactly the same arch that they're standing under as the higher self, okay? So at 1:44 to 45, I turn the page, 11:44 to 45, 11 being justice, and 44 is the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, the 45 of the grieving process and allowing that to come up. So going from the Ace of Wands, which is the underlying energy, to the central energy of the 2 of Pentacles, and then the end of the read, which is the summary card, or the higher self, the flame is ignited, the choice surrendered to higher self at the new moon, just before the solar eclipse, by the Divine Feminine standing in the archway of the 4D bridge with the Talmud and the baptism all at once. The archway, the foot, the soul. So it's very much bringing up the arch as the arch in the foot, which is the soul. So then we get I also do these cards where I do the Justice to the Seeker of Pentacles here, and the middle card to this middle card, and this card to this card, which are both dolphins today. And I'm going to show you those cards as well. So blindfold to practice other senses, right, with no sight. Holding the crystal as representative of the world floating on air above your hand. As above, so below. So showing you the hands where you put one hand up and one hand down. And they're showing the right hand up and the left hand down, but for me it feels more natural the other way around. So vice versa. So the dolphins at play ball with plums. The buoy marker enables you to see without seeing, to know where the dolphin will emerge from and then enter back under the plum and Metatron's cube. If you miss the mark, they'll be back around. So they're saying, don't worry about it. They're very social creatures. So this is teaching you to trust. When people walk away, when you're connected, you know they'll be back. And then the higher self, especially your higher self. So then we get to the numbers of this read, because I do all the numbers from the cards in a grid. So the whole grid adds up to 42, which is the 2 of Cups, which is here on the masculine side. All right, the 2 of Cups there, the fusion, not just a bond, because a bond is just stuck together, but the fusion is actually interwoven, okay, the 2 of Cups. The horizontal lines add up to 14, 10, and 18, which is the temperance, the wheel, and the moon. The patient angels at the high vibrational moon, which is the solar eclipse, new moon. The other way was 1, 1, 12, 10, 10, 2, 6, which is the 2 magicians, wise, hanging out both at high vibrations and inspired, intuitive lovers. The 2 of Cups of the merged or fused as one. And the phi, the PHI, might be coming up here as well. All the information about Metatron's cube was coming up from themystica.com, which is very interesting. These numbers can also be interpreted on the lower line as the sun inspired, and the magician, hermit, high priestess, which is just their intuitive abilities, lovers. And then the 2 of Cups. So it was really beautiful one-on-one relationship energy throughout the whole read today. So Metatron's cube came up from themystica.com, which is the celestial scribe and the highest of the angels. His name was also Thoth, So this is where Metatron is the same energy as Thoth, the scribe in Egyptian mythology. And actually, Magenta Pixie also describes her white wing collective consciousness of 9, also called Metatron. So it's all the same energy. Guardian of the perfect forms, the flower of life, the full inner balance, the 13 circles of Metatron's cube, and the lines from center to center, the lines being the divine masculine and the circles being the divine feminine, and comes from the tree of life. And that Metatron was second just below Yahweh, but it comes up as YHVN in this explanation. So again, the lines are the divine masculine, the circles the divine feminine, and that the 13 archangels who stand before God, each with the element expanding in all directions. So again, this is representative of all directions. And also of the 13 energy centers, 1 being the earth gateway, 2 being the earth star, 3 to 9 being the 7 chakras, 10 being the soul star, 11 the Pleiades, the 12 the Sirius, and 13 the core of the galaxy. The Talmud excluded the tree of life from the human experience during the Eden exile. Each center here in the Metatron's cube is a node, and there are 78 lines altogether, which in the traditional tarot, there are 78 cards, the 78 being the 10 of Pentacles, that dream family. So the 78 lines cube, they're all different, the shapes, the tesseract, the double tetrahedron, the stellated octahedron, and the regular octahedron, many icosahedron and dodecahedrons, but they do not fit along with the inner circle. The 2D flattened version of popular 5 platonic solids, which it comes from, which forms the cube from his soul. So there's bringing the soul into it again, representing God giving birth to the universe, and opens human eyes to the expanding field of creation in every direction of space and time. That physical matter is at lower levels of vibration, except we are in the existence of matter, so it does matter to us because we're human. God, equaling the field of love, equaling the live one vibrational energy, shows that God is the physical matter, the sound, the color, and wave described by the cube, the 4 elements representing channels. And also Magenta recently had brought up ether being a 5th element, and like space, energy, subatomic particles, the atom, DNA, animals, plants, humans, and the planets and solar system. So that was the explanation coming up all about Metatron. So then they were guiding me to, I was looking at my cards, the way I put them out, and they were guiding me to put down dots for each of the placements of my cards because they wanted to show me by just adding, and this is what came up here. All right, so they were showing me just by adding the north node and the south node that I literally was making Metatron's cube. If I just take out these center cards here and make them the north node and south node, and these 3 cards all act as one unit on either side, it's the same thing. And you notice at the top of my cards is also sitting the word love with Jesus behind it, and on the south node of my cards is me, the human. So it was really cool how they brought that up. The 9 of the center cards, 9, and then the 4 corners that come up in the Metatron's cube. They're just placed slightly differently, but you get the idea. It still comes up with the same information. And as I was drawing this representation here of my cards, I was getting the breastplate, so like of the warrior, the breastplate. I was also getting a sailboat and the circus tent with the hidden chambers. The world is just a ball to play with. Even better if you keep it plumb healthy. This is the messages I was getting for you guys. And this made me cry here. The dolphins were coming up saying thank you for clearing their water a bit and to allow them to come up for some air that's cleaner too. And it really made me cry when they came up with that. So then I brought up the videos that I'd been listening to during the read, which were the dolphin sounds that they had guided me to turn on in the beginning. And I told you the 3 that we had that went into the hand of Jesus at the end from the right hand. And so I just want to show you some of the connections in the cards today because they were so crazy uncanny here. So I showed you the archway of the Two of Cups and the higher self. All right, it's about the divine masculine and divine feminine standing in the archway of the 4 bridge, the 4D bridge. But it's like standing in the archway of your door in a hurricane, right? That's that protection, the natural protection of the stone. And then we have the Ace of Wands here as the ace here that the feminine is focused on, the third energy in the 6D. And then we have the, and over here as far as the wands, because we have the fire, flame, and then the masculine is spinning it. So the spinning it phrase has been coming up all week. So the masculine's spinning it in the 5D here. And this is that color of my world energy. And then we see the dolphin message of thank you for cleaning the waters. This is the central energy right here, and Spirit's connecting with me, of the cleaner waters. This is unconditional love. And here are the dolphins in the water here and here. Here are the dolphins waiting just beneath the surface. I'm going to show you these cards. Here's the dolphin waiting just beneath the surface with the plum ball. And then at the end, going back under. That you found the spot, the mark that they left for you without using your eyes, using your intuition. So, but there's more to this than just the water. So here's the clean waters, the dolphin saying, thank you for cleaning my water and allowing me to come up for air, and going back down. And then we have, this was the energy over here. Now look at, this is not, not using your eyes, trying your other senses, but they're reaching out for the world that's being held in the right hand here. So notice that she's holding the world with the right hand, and there's the plum that the dolphin's playing with. And then on the other side, we have not only the masculine, like this is preparing, this is the 3D or the 4D energies here. This is preparing a celebration of unconditional love and a proposal, okay? But here he is holding crystal with his both hands. And then here going back to the right hand. All right, so going from this world, holding the world in the right hand, to holding the crystal in the right hand, to showing us how to hold them without holding them at all, by just knowing that it's there. Okay, and there's the Metatron's cube, okay? So look at all the balls here, holding the world, and then the dolphin with waiting for you to see what you're not seeing about the world. And there's the masculine studying his abilities and learning how to let go and just allow and be in their knowing. So there's a lot of really cool energies here. This went this way. Yeah. Was there something else I wanted to show you too? And just there was a lot of references to marriage in the read. So that was coming up. Like I said, this very much looks like planning that kind of celebration. And then we have the Two of Cups over here. And there's also a reference to walking down the aisle over here. Okay, she's focused on the one flame. And these are the two winged witnesses, okay? And then again, here was the other references to that is this is the feminine like floating in her coffee cup, right? In the green room, which is the waiting room before you go on to the show, right? But it's also the wave. And then on the masculine side of this is the color My World, preparing something special for her. This is also referencing the steering the ship of Gilligan's Island and being lost at sea and stranded on the island. But this is about regaining control over their life, not depending on someone else. And the feminine waiting, like you know what you do, you prepare the night before where you don't see each other in their separate corners to come together for that special ceremony. And here's the pre-wedding jitters, okay? So it was really funny and beautiful. So many beautiful messages that came up. I'm going to pull another card from the energy deck for you, see what comes up now. Where are we? We're at 2930. Being present to the union. All right, what do we need to know now as closing ceremonies here? We have the storm warning. So I talked about this is that Oz, right? Standing under the archway as protection from the cyclone coming in. And that's number 10. It is destined. That's the Wheel of Fortune, the storm warning, that you're always prepared. And then we have the 48 of being ready to walk away and within. That's the 8 of Cups. When there's a dry spell, right? This is a lot of wet and stormy weather. And this is the dry spell when it's desert and there's no water at all. And it's very calm and dry. So knowing when it's destined and knowing when to walk away and within. And then we have the 53 of the catapult of the Magician in the mirror. Saying what? It's all good. And this is like, I'm just getting the joke too. Like, why are you saying I wasn't there for you? I sent you the boat to rescue you. I sent you the plane, whatever it was. So here's the underlying energy of the purifying light, the door to spirit. I opened the door for you. Why didn't you take it? Why didn't you walk in? That's what I'm getting. Okay? I gave you the tools. Now it's up to you to work it. To know when you have to work with the energy and when you have to walk away. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, that's when the Tower comes in, right? That's why you have lessons. And she's got, this is like an hourglass too. It's like it's already, all the time went into the bottom already and there's no more top anymore. This is what our lessons that were learned. We don't need to do that anymore. So he's saying, what? I taught you all your lessons. Now you have to jump out of the nest alone. And this is here where the masculine needs to speak his truth. His throat chakra is being activated here. 39 is the Knight of Cups. And you need to discern whether they're being deceitful or not. That's the Knight of Wands. Are they coming in an energy that serves you or doesn't serve you? So really, really beautiful message here. And I just want to end that too again with this picture. All right, of the light. So the right hand holding everything, holding the world, holding your choices, holding your light. Holding your light. As we come up to this solar eclipse at 3222. Okay, guys. Make sure you rise and be loved. I'll see you soon. Bye.